This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This morning, we have a better idea of how much longer MAX 9 jets around the country will remain grounded. The FAA just announced a procedure for inspecting them. The latest developments in the door plug blowout saga coming up in our top story.
Everything was ready to go, and that all went up in flames.
I was sick to my stomach. I just know how devastating these things are.
Federal investigators are now looking into what started the fire in Ilwaco, Washington, that devastated the community just before the start of commercial crabbing season. Just ahead, how people are stepping up to help.
And we are also live this morning in North Portland at the new location of a popular breakfast spot here in the city. You see the name right there, Fried Egg I'm in Love. Ooh, we got it on my coffee mug as well this morning. And we also have the owner of the operation behind me making our first fried egg sandwich of the morning. We're going to learn all about how Jace combined his passion for music with his knack for making delicious fried egg sandwiches and turned it into a restaurant chain coming up next. Well, when I say next, guys, I mean 5:15 here on Sunrise.
Drew having tons of fun out there with fried eggs on this Thursday morning. Glad you're here. China, of course, on the desk with us as Drew's out there. And Rod Hill back from your weather conference.
Yeah, it was a weather conference in Tahoe. Not a bad assignment. And pretty interesting topics that we're going to get into really next week, including atmospheric rivers that could be giving us a deluge of rain again starting tomorrow. But right now, no real concerns. Temperatures are fine. Temperatures are around freezing out in the gorge, but you can see radar is showing that's just rain. I've not seen any reports of any icing for you. Temperatures in the valley, not bad. We're at 43 degrees. This is the wettest part of our day this morning. As we roll through, we'll become drier and drier. And eventually this afternoon, at some point, the radar probably goes clean, meaning no rain. 48 at noon. Highs get up to about 50. We'll be 47 at 5 p.m. And that is your forecast for now.
Okay, thank you so much, Rod. We begin this morning with news about the safety measures the FAA has announced for the Boeing 737 MAX 9 airplanes. Before they can begin flying again, some airlines have said the planes could be back in the air as soon as this weekend.
Devin Haskins has more on the safety measures and what Boeing CEO is telling Capitol Hill. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning. Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun was in Washington, D.C. yesterday, meeting with several lawmakers, assuring them that the planes his company makes are safe.
Mr. Calhoun, what's your message to passengers concerned about flying on your planes?
We fly safe planes. We don't put airplanes in the air that we don't have 100% confidence in. I'm here today in the spirit of transparency to, number one, recognize the seriousness of what you just asked. Number two, to share everything I can with our Capitol Hill interests and answer all their questions because they have a lot of them.
And we now know what Boeing needs to do before their MAX 9 airplanes can fly again. The FAA announced on Wednesday that it will not grant any production expansion of the Boeing 737 MAX line, including the 737 MAX 9, which is the plane that suffered the door plug blowout over Portland earlier this month. Now, in order to get the nearly 200 planes that are currently grounded back in the air, the FAA gave Boeing instructions on the new inspection process implemented on Wednesday. The enhanced maintenance process will require Boeing to inspect specific bolts, guide tracks, and fittings. It also needs to give a detailed look at all mid-cabin door plugs and components, retorque fasteners, and correct any damage or abnormal conditions. Although the FAA approved the ungrounding of the planes, officials say this won't be back to business as usual for Boeing. Today, Boeing plans to pause MAX production at its facility in Renton, Washington. The company calls it the first of many quality stand-down days at its factories in the coming weeks. Christine?
Okay, thank you for that report, Devin. Federal investigators are on the ground in Ilwaco, Washington, trying to figure out what started the fire that destroyed a dock and thousands of dollars worth of equipment on Monday. It's also caused a major setback for fishermen just before the start of commercial crabbing season. Now the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, or ATF, is helping investigate what was initially called in as an electrical fire. While the commercial crabbing season lasts until mid-September, Fish and Wildlife officials say 80% of crabs are harvested in the early months. So communities up and down the coast are pitching in to help.
I think all of us right now are really feeling for these families because we're all in the place where we feel like one big catastrophe would just sink us. We would lose our business.
The GoFundMe supporting people impacted by the Ilwaco fire keeps growing and has now raised over $81,000.
Today, Clark County will conduct its annual point-in-time count. The countywide census provides a one-night snapshot of what homelessness looks like in the community. So throughout the day, staff and trained community volunteers with Council for Homeless will go around asking survey questions to people living outside. The survey includes voluntary questions like demographics and circumstances that contributed to homelessness. Data from today's count will be released in May.
Hey, heads up, the Marion County Sheriff's Office is warning people about phone scammers who are impersonating law enforcement, saying they're collecting traffic fines. They say the scammers demand payment over the phone and threaten people with a warrant for not paying debts. The Sheriff's Office wants to remind people that real law enforcement won't be contacting you like this. Anyone who encounters these types of scams can report them to the FTC. And take a look at your screen. Police in Oregon City need your help finding that woman connected to at least 2 thefts from medical facilities, they say. The first happened last May when police say the woman stole a wallet at Northwest Primary Care. Then investigators say she stole another wallet at Meridian Park Hospital a few weeks later. In both cases, she used credit and bank cards. The woman is believed to have a tattoo. You can see it there on her back and lower leg. Contact Oregon City Police if you know anything.
Across the country, the FBI is investigating what they're calling imposter scams. So basically, a scammer pretends to be a celebrity and uses that influence to convince victims, often superfans, to send them money. We're talking big names here like Ryan Reynolds or Dolly Parton.
There's an allure about celebrities and people wanting to believe that they're actually talking to those people that they see on TV and in the movies every day. They become targets for these types of criminal actors.
The scam is so widespread that someone even tried impersonating a member of the Today Show crew. Coming up at 7 o'clock, tips to help you spot the scams and protect yourself.
The 2024 James Beard semifinalists are out, and a grand total of 8 Portland restaurants and chefs made the cut. They include Hanok, Jinju Patisserie, Long Bon, and OK Omens. We spoke with Ryan Roadhouse, who is the owner of Northeast Portland's Notoguru. Roadhouse is nominated for Best Chef in the Northwest and Pacific. It's his 7th time as a semifinalist.
I think I just said, wow. I was like, can't believe it. Super honored. It's wonderful to be back a part of this.
Sarah Minnick of Lovely's 50/50 on North Mississippi is the only Portland chef nominated for national recognition. Huge congrats, and of course, good luck to everyone. That is really exciting stuff. Of course, Portland, a foodie town, for sure.
Yeah, have you guys been to any of those restaurants?
Long Bon, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you've been to Hanok?
I've been to Hanok.
Ooh, how was that?
Fantastic.
Right?
Definitely an experience as well, which I love those things. So
I need to fancy my life up. I haven't been to any of those. Maybe this will be the
You were
year.
just in Tahoe.
Well, that was pretty fancy. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Here's a look at some rivers. Now, why am I looking at these rivers? The Tualatin, the Pudding, the Calumet, and Mary's River, because all of these rivers are generally within a foot or two of flood stage, so running high. And with that said, we are looking at a lot of rain from this system starting tomorrow, coming into Saturday and through Saturday night. I just showed you the typical satellite picture we show you. This is microwave satellite imagery showing you the enhanced water vapor plume. So it's a little different shape than what I showed you on the satellite picture. This is all the heavy moisture. It just kind of typically runs along the equator. Not that it's raining all the time, but a lot of water vapor. And then when you get these little fingers of moisture shooting northward, that's when we start saying, hey, atmospheric river. And this is what's coming into us, it looks like, starting tomorrow. So my point is concerns of at least some potential river flooding developing this weekend with a lot of rain coming. How much? Well, over a couple inches up and down the valley tomorrow through Saturday night, maybe over 3.5 in parts of the coast. And see these little bubble bullseyes? These are concerns because that could be 6, 7, 8 inches of rain falling over the coast range. Could be over an inch according to this weather model all the way through the gorge out in the Dalles, and over 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 in parts of central Oregon. Now right now the rain is just northwest Oregon and then up across western Washington. So pretty wet up and down I-5, generally speaking. This is the same weather system that brought us the crazy weather yesterday. Saw reports of people hearing thunder, seeing lightning and hail. It was intense downpour action that moved through. I think it was around 4, 5, 6 o'clock yesterday. We really got hammered. None of that today, because today's weather is actually going to be getting a little bit calmer and calmer as we get rolling through. 46 in Newport currently, Salem and Kelso each at 47, 43 in the Rose City. It is freezing out east, Baker City, John Day, and Burns. Forecast highs today in the valley back up to the 50s. So morning showers decreasing in the afternoon. At some point, we have a good chance of just becoming dry this afternoon and then dry tonight. So that's what I mean by calming down. Some breezes from the south. Yesterday was pretty breezy, if you remember. Today, those winds will be calming down during the day as well. Rain develops tomorrow, and once it kicks in the morning hours, it's raining more than not all the way through Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Then Sunday starts to quiet down. Some showers on Monday, and then we have another system on Tuesday and Wednesday. But look at the highs. Good grief. We could be nearing 60 on Sunday and Monday. This will be weekend rain, not snow, over the Cascades, including the resorts and the passes.